Today we will be learning about the note-taking method called trash and treasure. So when we are doing a research, we need to think of it like searching for a treasure, like using a treasure map. So when we are researching, we think of the words that we need are like symbols on a treasure map. So we only want to keep the important words, those are our treasure, and we ignore the other words, which is our trash. So anything that doesn't lead us to our treasure, those are our trash words. So what are treasure words? These are the words that answer our questions. So when we are doing research, that's usually trying to find the answer to a certain question. So those are our treasure words. We ignore everything else. So trash words are all the other words on the page that don't answer our question. There are some common trash words. These are words like the word the. Below there's a sentence. It would be worth the risk if we could win an award showing off our talents. There are some trash words in there. So I want you to take a few minutes and I want you to think of some other common trash words that you might think of that maybe weren't in this sentence, or you could use some that were in this sentence, and I want you to write them off to the right hand side there. All right. So some common trash words that you could have written down. There's tons of them out there, but here are some. The, an, it, is, has, of, and, with, be, are, it. Oh, it's already on there. So any of those would be trash words. So those are the ones that we're going to ignore. So how do we do this? First, you're going to read your research question and you're going to think, what is the key word? And you're going to underline it. So we're going to practice this. I want you to think about what would be the absolute key word that we're looking for to answer this question. What are we looking for on this sentence? Where do polar bears live? What are we looking for? And it's one word, and I want you to write it down off to the right. All right, so the one word is live. Live is our key word. That is the one that we're going to do. So now we've got our research thing, we've underlined it. So now we need to read the articles or the websites or the books, and we're going to read them one sentence at a time. And then we are going to cross out any trash words that we don't need or ignore them. And then we're going to write the treasure words under our topic, okay? So let's practice, all right? What does a poison dart frog eat? So what does a poison dart frog eat? I want you to think about what is the most important thing that we are looking for. What is the one word that we're trying to find the answer to? Write it off to the right. Okay. So remember, it's the key word that we're going to underline. What are we trying to find? So our key word was eat. So we're going to underline that word. Remember, we're only looking for things that poison dart frogs eat. So we're only looking for eat or food or anything like that. So this is a page from Britannica Online. Just screenshotted it. This is exactly what it looks like. We're going to look at it one sentence at a time, okay? So remember, we're looking for the word eat. Here's our sentence. A few species of poison frogs are used by South American tribes to coat the tips of darts and arrows. I want you to tell me, are there any treasure words in here? And if there are, write them down. If there's not, write a no. Okay, go ahead and do that. So the answer is no. It doesn't have anything about eating or food. So we just ignored everything in that sentence. So there's our second sentence. The skin secretion of a true poison dart frog or a golden poison dart frog is so toxic that the tip of a dart rubbed across its back picks up sufficient poison to kill a large bird or monkey. Remember, our word is eat. I want you to tell me, does it have a treasure word? Does it not have a treasure word? If it has a treasure word, what is the treasure word? Okay, once again, this one didn't have anything to do with eating food. Okay, let's try the next sentence. The origin or production of the toxic skin secretions remains uncertain, but at least in some poison frogs, it appears to be derived from their consumption of beetles, their primary prey. All right, does this have any treasure words? And yes or no? And if the answer is yes, what is the treasure word in here? Okay, write that off to the right-hand side. So yes, there is a treasure word in here. It says they consume beetles. So consume is another word for eat. So you would write down the word beetles. Let's try one more. So our research question is, where do hippos live? Okay, where do hippos live? What is the key word that we are looking for? All right, what's the key word that we need to look for? Write that down. Okay, all right, the key word is live. So we're going to underline the key word so we remember that's what we're looking for. So the word is live. We're going to look again at a Britannica Online. So this is the whole entire article, but we're going to take it one sentence at a time. Okay, here we go. We're going to look this sentence over. We're looking for the word live. Okay, the hippopotamus or hippo is a large hooved mammal that lives in Africa. Is there a key word? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, what is your key word? Write that down. So the answer is yes, and you should have written down Africa. So let's try to the next sentence. It spends part of its time on land and part of its time in rivers, lakes, and swamps. Is there any treasure words in here? For our keyword live, are there any treasure words? Answer yes or no. If the answer is yes, what are they? So the answer is yes, because they do live in lakes, rivers, and swamps. So that had to do with our word live. Let's try our next one. An African folk tale describes how God created the hippopotamus and told it to cut grass for the other animals. Are there any treasure words that have to deal with the word live? Are there any treasure words in here? Yes or no? If the answer is yes, write them down. If it's no, put a no. No, this doesn't have anything to do with where they live. All right, so we can ignore that whole sentence. So let's try this other sentence. In Africa, folktale describes how God created the hippopotamus and told it. This one is a repeat. Ignore that one. All right, so what do you need to do now? So now, in your Google Classroom, you will have a thing that says how to take notes. So you've already watched the Ed Puzzle. You're going to go to the Trash and Treasure practice. So you're going to practice what we have been working on. All right, and it is a Pear Deck. So you're going to go ahead and click into the Assign Pear Deck thing. It's going to ask you to continue, and then it's going to start it up. Okay, so what is the key word for this research question? Where do Native Americans live? All right, is the key, and you're going to put your answer over here, and then you're going to move on to the next slide. When you get these all done, when everything is done, make sure that you go back to your classroom and you go to View Assignment and hit Mark as Done. Same thing with your Ed Puzzle. So go to your Ed Puzzle, View Assignment, and Mark as Done. And then they won't show up as missing. Okay? All right. If you have any questions, please let me know. But those are what today's assignments are. And let me know if you have any questions.